First off, I want to ask, what did you make of Harris's speech? What stood out to you most?
It's ironic that you mentioned her focus on truth-telling because that was my overall impression of her speech. She was truth-telling. She was there to level set in a moment in which many Americans, quite frankly, are frightened, are just out of sorts with regards to all of the attacks that are happening day after day after day on the American people, our livelihoods, our retirement savings, our ability to even predict whether or not we will have a democracy at the end of the day, or even if we have one now. She stood there as a voice of reason and a mirror as to not only what is happening now, but to the fact that we still have power now. And together as a people, we can fight back. And to me, that was a message that America especially needs in this very critical moment.
Now, of course, we know Harris no longer vice president. How much does her voice still matter on the national stage?
It absolutely matters because here's the thing. I believe there's a lot of buyer's remorse all across this nation. Everything that's happening right now, she could have said, I told you it would happen, because she would be accurate. And there are a lot of people who are looking here at what we have been left with. And now they have the opportunity to see what we could have had. And she is someone that there are still, honestly, millions of people around this nation voted for her. Millions of people around this nation supported her. Millions of people still support her and still look to her for leadership in this moment. And so the fact that she was able to attend this incredible event by Emerge, an amazing organization that helps to make sure that women run for office, and be able to shed light on what America is going through right now, but also be able to give people clear direction around the fact that we still have power when we work together is a message that's needed in this moment, and I'm sure will enliven millions of people who was waiting for some voices to start to penetrate that unfortunately the Democratic Party writ large has unfortunately really been disappointing to a lot of folks who believe that there's not enough voices like that are out in this moment.
What kind of grade would you give the Democrats so far in standing up to Trump, and what do they need to do?
D. D minus, honestly, to be perfectly frank. They were very much slow off the blocks. And as Vice President Harris, for my forever vice president, mentioned last night, it was a great velocity of actions. We just, as you know, had the acknowledgement of 100 days in action in office. And, to my count, if you only focus on what he has done specifically impacting the Black community, for example, over 40 actions that have been pushed through via executive order by him and his other folk that have specifically hurt the Black community. And that's just one segment of our society. So it's been a large velocity of actions that have happened in a very short period of time. And the Democrats really were as caught off guard as anyone else, I think. And that's shocking given the fact that they should have known, knowing what was in Project 2025, what to expect. They probably didn't expect it to happen this fast. They probably didn't expect it to happen this lawlessly. But what they need to happen, and I'm beginning to see a little movement in that direction, which is why it's not an F, is they need to start to speak up. I know they don't have voting power. The American people know that they don't have voting power, but they do have the power of the pulpit, the bully pulpit in some sense. They do have the power of their offices to at least let people know everything that's happening, how it's going to impact their lives, and how they need to respond. People want leadership in this moment. It is a huge leadership void in this moment. There is no opposition party in this moment that is bold and that is effective and that is unrelenting. There are a few bright stars out there, but I believe there needs to be more concerted action with those who are, in fact, ready for this moment. Certainly, Vice President Harris is one of those people, but there are others. And I would love to see more of them out there and given the opportunity to be able to lead. Unfortunately, I believe some of the leadership class has been holding people back. They need to let people go, and they need to stop listening to consultants that, unfortunately, in my mind, help to torpedo Vice President Harris's campaign and are doing the same thing right now to the Democratic Party writ large with regards to a lackadaisical strategy that was slow off the blocks, but now needs to be accelerated at a very high pace, because unfortunately, I don't think we can afford to wait until the midterms to mount an effective retort to this tyrant. It needs to happen now, and it needs to happen every single day that we are subjected to this type of tyranny.
All right, we will have to leave it there. Avis, thank you very much for your time today. That is Avis Jones-Deweever, political and social commentator.
Thank you.